Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm and the home of AfroEconomics. Today we're talking about underemployment and unemployment. Interesting topic, way different for me, especially as an investment advisor to be talking about. But AfroEconomics is based on 10 key principles that include everything about our wealth, because AfroEconomics, our Black Wealth Matters, is more than just the investment choices. It's about our entire lifestyle. So I want to share with you before we get started on some tips on avoiding underemployment. This is AfroEconomics, Our Black Wealth Matters, the legacy edition of the book. It includes the Adinkra symbols. I selected one of the African symbols that to represent AfroEconomics, the symbol with the morning star and in transformation of the wheel, and the wheel has the morning star in between, and I like that for AfroEconomics. And I have inside there's an extensive even has the African names, and you know, this girl from North Carolina, I'm not too good at that, but I did include like the meaning of everything. So AfroEconomics, this particular symbol, and morning star and the wheel, and it has the African name and the symbol of transformation and independence. Now I can do this one, Principle 1, Legacy, Sankofa. Go back and get it, the symbol of learning from and reflecting on the past. That's the first principle of AfroEconomics, and every principle has its symbol. So check out this book in the bookstore at afroeconomics.com or jbbryan.com. And I'm excited about this little baby right here, the AfroEconomics for Kids, the beginning. And of course, every time you come out with something, somebody says, "Oh, but what about?" So there's, hey, bear with me. But this is for kids, for our babies, getting them into the mindset, and meanwhile, we're really thinking about how important we are, because it's an activity book for them. And it has the name of it's Me, My Family, and My Legacy, and it has me on my AfroEconomics motorcycle. I love riding my bike. So I write to the kids in the back about, "Hi, my name is Jennifer JB Bryan, and I love riding my motorcycle. And I hope that your kids won't ride for a long time." My daughter is not the slightest bit interested, so I can imagine, but it won't encourage them to ride motorcycles. It will just encourage them to find out what they enjoy doing. And it took me a long time to discover motorcycles. So, and it has where they'll put in the names of their aunts, their grandma, their grandpa, their grandparents, the names of their siblings, and they'll start with just describing themselves, drawing a picture or putting a picture in. And after you put in your whole family tree and everything, there's a coloring book also included. So this is full color. It's a very expensive book, but it is available to you at minimal expense. So definitely take advantage of this. And it has the African symbols and their meaning on the side to introduce them to our legacy as well, introduce our babies. And the AfroEconomics book has the workbook that I enjoy. I always wanted to have a workbook. So when I finished the book, I quickly went into the workbook, and amazingly, all of these came out this year. So 2016 has been an exciting year for AfroEconomics, and I thank God for it. In the back, I'm sharing the website. This is the jbbryan.com website, and it has this is the front page, and you'll click in the corner and you can go to the menu, and it will have lots of information for you. So please, I encourage you to go to, I usually have the afroeconomics.com website behind me, but jbbryan.com website for the investment advisory firm is there for you using. It has a whole resources section. You can do a risk calculator. So take advantage of all that free information out there for you. And there's the next workshop, the for the afternoon workshop, because I'll be here with you every Wednesday. But the next live workshop, November 5th, we just had one at the earlier this month, and about politics and community empowerment. It was great. November, we're going to talk about refuse to be broke, and we're going to go through the workbook and get everything set up. And you'll also see on the website my New Year's Eve party. At midnight on New Year's Eve, I'm going to be hanging out, fully dressed up, and celebrating financial independence. So if you're like me and you like to make sure that you have your financial house in order at the beginning of the year, let's do it. So join me online on New Year's Eve. So we're talking about Black unemployment and underemployment. And I have some real numbers for y'all. Now, I'm not just talking about what I think. This is real. So this is research that came from the Economic Policy Institute. And interesting, Economic Policy Institute, see? Roughly 1 in 5 Hispanic and Black workers are underemployed. Roughly 1 in 5 Hispanic and Black workers are underemployed. 18.9% Hispanic workers and 22.4% of Black workers. So what does now we know unemployed means you don't have a job, you're out. Underemployed means that underemployed includes people who are unemployed, as well as those who are working part-time but want and are available for work full-time, or those who want or are available to work and have looked for work in the last year but have given up actively seeking work. So they tried, they can't find it. So we've got over 20%, they're saying, and I believe those numbers are a lot higher, but it is reported that over 20%, and in fact, this was as of the end of 2013, that we had over 20% of our community with that challenge. Now of underemployment. Let's bring it forward. And of January of this year, the Economic Policy Institute came out with, it says, in 2010, Black unemployment was at 16.8%, but by December 2015, it was at 8.3%. Hey, that's cut in half. We're supposed to be excited, right? In 2010, it had reached 16.8%. So, but they write in here, this is a CNN Money report that they use the information from the Economic Policy Institute. It says, despite the progress, despite that progress, that the unemployment is lower than it was, there is a lot of room for progress. It says Blacks still have higher unemployment than any other demographic, any other. White unemployment is at 4.5, where we're at 8.3, Hispanic unemployment 6.3, and Asian unemployment at 4%. Asians is at 4%, that's lower than the white population. While it's an important improvement that the 8.3 is indeed really a progress, the Black unemployment rate would be, and this is what the Economic Policy Institute is saying, their think tank that they put together, the Black unemployment rate would be unacceptable if that were the national rate, says Valerie Wilson, an economist at the Economic Policy Institute. The Black unemployment rate would be unacceptable if that were the national rate. That's what I'm saying. That's why we need AfroEconomics. In 2009, Black median household income in 2009 was $35,953. In 2014, it was at $35,398, according to the Economic Policy Institute. Hispanic households, actually, their income was a bit higher, and for whites, it was the same. It was basically flat. Also notes, the quality of jobs is another weak spot. Industries with low wages, typically restaurants and retail businesses, tend to have a higher concentration of Blacks than whites, Hispanics, or Asians. Even in higher skilled industries like healthcare and education, there are more blacks in the lower paying jobs than other races in those higher skilled industries. So even though low wage workers are benefiting from a minimum wage increase, experts say blacks probably benefit the least. The majority of black populations in the United States of America live in the South. And while dozens of states and local jurisdictions have raised the minimum wage, many southern states with large populations have not. Here we go. This will blow your mind. Access to higher education explains some of the income gaps between blacks and other races, but it doesn't illustrate the full picture. Blacks with the same education levels as whites still have a harder time finding work. Same education level. So it's not like you're not doing what you got to do. You went to school, you got it, you got loans to show for it, but you're having a harder time finding work. There are also more blacks with college degrees than Hispanics in the US, yet Hispanics have a lower unemployment rate according to the Labor Department and census data. That's amazing. Even though we have more college degrees, they have a lower unemployment rate. Amazing. We need to make sure that that is acknowledged. We're not making it up. There are some serious problems going on that they're impacting our community, and this is real. Now, when I thought about it, and I said, every time we hear a political candidate say that this is going on, somebody says that we're supposed to get insulted by them telling the truth about it. Amazing. I saw Tyler Perry was doing a comedy skit, and he was saying that, you know, black people don't like a particular candidate. Get a grip. We're not going to like you. And I was like, why? How did he come to that conclusion? It's not even funny. It's not even funny. If we have been going through this right now under the current political situation, we have double the unemployment rate, then who do we like? What are we supposed to like? What is going on here? We have to change our mindset and start investigating into this system, what is benefiting us, and getting some real issues being discussed about the black community and what is going to empower us so that our generations to come can benefit from the things that they get to benefit from. And this is real, and we're just letting it go because we have so many people with money, with jobs, telling us that everything is okay. I mean, I can tell you that because I got my business. My business is over 20 years old, but I'm not everybody. And how selfish of it would be for me to not share the reality that over 1 out of 5 of us is or underemployed. I have a problem with that. It needs to be addressed. We're going in loan, we're going into debt, we're going to school, you know, and all they can say is that we're gonna try to help you get rid of some of this school loan debt. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna have to go to a particular school, particular location, particular things that are still going to limit us from what we need to do to get into these jobs that we need that have better pay. So let's look at some points that I have here. We are from generation to generation underemployed since the 1800s. That's real. What has helped and what helped when blacks were free, became free slaves, free men? What has helped us from that point to today? Why am I talking to you right now? How do I have this opportunity to talk to you right now? Because I have my own business. You have no idea how much I have to sacrifice in order to focus on serving you. But it is real and we have to do it. And I don't have to worry about being unemployed. I don't have to worry about that. Some of us wake up, a lot of us, the majority of us wake up every day and wonder, is this the day that they're going to give me the pink slip? Is this the day that all this world that you created, all the loans, all the mortgages, all the cars, all the stuff, is this when everything implodes? Is this it? Because everything you have is based on you still continuing to have that job that you have allowed yourself to live way beyond your means. That's not real. I would rather have my own thing and have less of it. Just what exactly I can afford. Living within or below our means is where we need to be. There we need to be. We do, in order for us to make it better for generations to come. So what can we do now that is going to help us now to get out of this underemployment cycle? We have to take about entrepreneurship. We have to make sure that we're taking steps to explain that small businesses, small Black businesses are suffering. We are suffering under the current things that are happening in the United States of America. They are not helping small business, and that is us. We need to be encouraged to have our own. All of us cannot work for the government. You do not, you are limiting yourself, but in the majority of us who have jobs are working for the government to some extent. You know, to some extent, either a school or, so, you know, there's still the government. It's a county, the county, the state, or the federal government. So what if they stop doing that? What if the government decides that they don't want to be all those trillions of dollars in debt? Who is it going to hurt the most? Us. Because we are overwhelmingly employed and depending on the government. We have to stop doing that. I met this guy who was over the Asian Chamber of Commerce, and I said, why does your community have so many entrepreneurs? He said, because in my country, we don't depend on the government like that. We feel that we should have our own businesses. Our government doesn't hire everybody. We did that. We have done that. We've come from that. Oh my goodness. So look at the jobs that we're doing. Can your job be inherited? Can that job, that position at that desk, can it be inherited? No. What can you do to make sure that you're passing on a source of income so that your kids can live better than you do? And it's okay to start now. Another point, it's okay to start now. It's never too late to think about generational wealth. It's never too late to say, you know what, I need to do this right now. Even if you keep that job that you have to make sure that you are putting money away. So many people lose their jobs and they don't even have an emergency fund. They haven't even thought about their investment account. I have met people that have worked for the federal government for 30 years and have less than $10,000 in their retirement account with the government, depending totally on the pension from them to maintain their style of living, which is not going to happen. It's okay to start now. So if you make a career choice, make sure you know the lifestyle for that career choice. You decided to be a teacher. Why are you trying to live like a neurosurgeon? You have to live within the means of the position that you have chosen. You chose that career. You chose to start your own nonprofit. You chose to start your own business. You know, and I had to learn that myself, that when you choose to start your own business, contrary to what anybody else thinks, it is not a get-rich-quick strategy. Building a business takes generations. The best thing you can do when you're a first-generation entrepreneur like I am is do it right, make sure it's organized, correct your structure, get all of your legal documents straight, make sure everything is done properly, and set up a system that can be passed on. Set up a system that is good and clean and clear and committed and has a good name. Give them that substance, the structure, the bones. Give them that bone, the bone of it, the frame of it. You can't build a good, beautiful house and too many people are doing it. Even if you think about it from construction, too much crap is being built today. It's built on nothing, based on nothing. We want to make sure we build businesses that are based on goodness, strength, perseverance, determination, integrity. We want that. We want those things that can last forever. We don't need get rich quick. We don't need it, because that which comes quickly goes quickly. It says the fool and his money shall soon part. We can't do that. We need it here for lifetimes to come. We got to stop thinking about getting paid today and think about getting paid for when you're gone. Your family is still benefiting from the efforts you're putting out today. If you make a career choice, make sure you know the lifestyle that's connected to it. That's right. Too often we want to live the lifestyle of a career you don't choose. So that leads to debt, right? You chose $50,000 a year career, but you want to have, $1 million house. You want to have a Mercedes and a Bentley and the motorcycle and everything. You want to have it all, but your household income is going to require that you go into extreme debt in order to do it. And just because you have that government job, like active military, are such a victim of this, because people want to loan you money all the time. They'll put signs up, like I've seen in the motorcycle dealership, military guaranteed approval. That's because they will take your check. You won't even be able to eat, but they're going to get their payment on that ride. Don't do it. So let's also look at another one. If you are underemployed, which includes unemployed people, make sure you work on your next move every day. So if you are out of work or in a job and you hate it, make sure that you have your resume updated, that you meet people in the position of interest to you. And don't say this one, like people approach me and they go, I want to pick your brain. I don't know why, but that really, really is like not cool. It's like all I see is somebody like stabbing me in the head. Don't say that. If you just say, hey, matter of fact, just be there. Like, I have this brother, and he comes to my workshops, and he said that he comes because he wants to learn from me, because when he retires, he's considering a career in financial services. Hey, I mean, really, you don't have to just be in that area, just be around it. I asked a girlfriend of mine, can she kind of connect with, she works at the hospital, and I said, can you connect, can you get the information on volunteering, because my daughter says she wants to be a surgeon. So I'm like, let's get her in that environment. The earlier the better. It's real. We got to just be around it. I wish that I had been around people in financial services earlier on, but I'll tell you one thing, this is real. This man named Dr. Huey Battle, he worked with my father. They worked at Virginia State University together. When I went to college, I talked to Dr. Battle, and he said, I want you to look into stocks. He had started an investment club in Petersburg, Virginia. And how about that? He passed away before I became a stockbroker. Right before he passed away. But I'm telling you, he opened my mind to that as an option. I was just going to business school. I hadn't really thought about me actually investing. He did. And then, when you're in business school, you're really looking at everything on a corporate level. I took a personal finance class, and that really, wow, this is really interesting. Still wasn't enough. It wasn't until after a while, and I was working and going to graduate school and everything, and then someone else said, you would be a great stockbroker. When I went to an investment firm to sign up to do after graduate school, I said, I'm going to do research. I think that I'll be great at that. And he said, nobody, you are a stockbroker. Here I am, the only Black, the only woman in the ballroom. It was crazy, but somebody thought of it. God had a plan, and I can't even imagine doing anything else now. So, this is what I have been chosen to do, but being around it, getting it in our conversations, whatever it is that you want to do, make sure you associate with it. And associate with positive people. Associate with people who are pushing you forward, not dream killers. Not, I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that told me, JV, you can't put out 3 books this year, you know, that 3, but they would have never told me I couldn't buy 3 cars. They just, they would have told me I can't do 3 books. Isn't that funny? How you just, you know, when you got to invest in something, everybody thinks about the risk involved. But then when you go set up a payment plan, that's when you need to be thinking about the risk involved. You know, invest in something real. Now these will pay me and my family for life. It's work that's done. It's done. It's done. Yes. But if it was still the same amount of money could have been put into vehicles or things or clothes or this and that, but they would never bring that value to me, my child, nor to you, your family, and the generations that will benefit from our effort. Believe in you. I believe in you. So change your mindset. Just because it has always been this way for us, we can change it. When I was introduced to sales, I realized that there was no limit to what I could do. I can't imagine being like you, where no matter how much effort I can put out, that I'm still going to end up with the same thing. And I think that that's what like really brings people down after a while. They go, oh my God, no how hard you work, that employer is still only going to pay you the same thing. That's why I tell my people, that's my name on the door. So don't hurt yourself. Do what you got to do. Give me what you give me while you here, and then you go on. But let me share that it is that it is definitely worth it for you to make sure that when you are working for someone, that you give them your 100%, because the best entrepreneurs, and I know this, are the ones that know how to work well. I remember my first sales job, and I was right out of college. I went directly into 100% commission sales, which is the only reason I ever got that chance at that investment firm. I worked in sales full time during the day, and I went to graduate school full time at night. Now, he said, how much do you need? I said, I don't need anything. I just need the job. I just need the job. He said, well, we got to pay you something. I said, no, what's the commission rate? And he told me commission rate. I said, no, I just need the job. He said, no. He said, whatever. I said, well, I don't know. Well, whatever it is, I'm making more than that. And I remember he said, okay, well, we'll just pay you whatever. Maybe it was like $1,000 a month. It didn't matter to me what he said. I was going to make more than that. We need to stop thinking about the base and what somebody's going to give us, because whatever they're going to give you, I saw somebody on Facebook, they said the other day, they were talking, it was like it was crazy, but they were saying that I know that for every dollar that they make, I'm only getting 10 cents of that. So they were saying, so that's why they use the bathroom on the job. Now, that is the case, but they're also making investment in you and making sure that you get what you get. So if you're only getting 10 cents and you don't like that, then you need to make sure you figure out a way to increase your income. We need to figure out a way to change underemployment for us. We need to change our mindset and say, no, I'm going to get paid more than that. No, I'm going to take the chance to be in something that has unlimited income. I'm going to take the chance of having my own business. I'm going to take the chance of getting into something, and it's going to take teamwork, because I've seen a lot of people in sales, especially men, where their spouse is like, you crazy, you are not going into sales. So I know I've been single like basically all of my life. So I have gone through this pain, and I'm taking care of my child. But if I had someone who didn't believe in me, which I have had, then, you know, I had to get rid of that situation, because you really, if you're building your business and you are trying to make it in a job that is based on your effort and mental effort, you got to have team support. We have to, as Black people, begin to believe in one another and not just believe that the system will eventually pay out for you. That if you have somebody in your life that you love, that has a dream and wants more, if you truly love them, you will support their dream. That's what I believe. I've never had anyone that truly believed in me except for my child. So that's why I'm single, and I'm willing to take that sacrifice. We have to be. We have to be, because most importantly, we've got to believe in ourselves. So don't underestimate your abilities. Regardless of what you think, you are in a position to help someone else. You really are. That, like, and I was saying it, I was writing, and I was just writing out, but I was like, I'm not Malcolm X, but Malcolm X did not start as Malcolm X. Malcolm X started as Malcolm Little, and it took Malcolm Little believing that he can make a change, that I have to believe that no matter who's watching, that I can make a change in their life. Somebody's life will be impacted, and you have to believe in yourself in order to do that. And then also, wow, I'm just like really loving this. I'm talking today. The victim mindset is a hindrance. We must first decide to not be among the more than 20% underemployed. We must decide to change the fact that Black unemployment is 2 times that of the white community. No politician yet has mentioned Black unemployment, but we know someone that did, but we aren't listening to them, unfortunately. So we must prepare to repair or to correct this ourselves through mindset change, career choice, work ethic, entrepreneurship, determination, accepting the reality of your financial situation, avoiding debt, and that includes tax debt. We need to make sure that we're very, very careful. So that is my challenge for us, to get out of this underemployment, to consider the risk of having our own business, to consider the risk of making sure, like, read that book, The Miseducation of the Negro. We realize that we are very highly educated as a people, but we're realizing that as far as employment opportunities, our education is still not equalizing us. So we need to figure out how can we get back on top? How can we get on top? How can we correct this? So in order to avoid having another generation that goes through this underemployment. And I'm going to leave you now. Got me all hyped. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments. I'm JB Bryan, the President and Chief Investment Officer at JB Bryan Financial Group, a registered investment advisory firm. And jbbryan.com is the website, AfroEconomics.com. Workshops all the time. So please click like if you enjoyed this discussion, and click like and just keep me encouraged. I want to encourage you as well. I hope this discussion did. And you are worthy. Always remember that you are worthy. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I look forward to sharing time together next week. Bye.